The concept of life after death is not a new one. It's the idea that when our bodies give out and we die, we don't cease to exist. Most people believe in the soul's continuation after we physically die. But if this is true, if we do live on after we die, then what happens to us? Where do we actually go? Many cultures and religions say that after we die, we go to one of two places. If you were a good person in life, if you were worthy of it, you get to spend an eternity in paradise. And if you weren't good enough, if you had done something especially terrible, you would spend an eternity in suffering, being punished for what you had done. If you're good, you go to heaven. If you're bad, you go to hell. The concept has been around for a long time, and we see it all throughout our culture. I mean, as children, we see it in cartoons. Heaven is depicted as some place up in the clouds where everyone has a halo, wings, and suddenly loves to play the harp 24/7. And hell is illustrated as a place with walls of fire and a pit of lava with lots of mischievous little red dudes poking people with tridents.
Oh, you're the guy that's always by, you think you're awfully hot.
These cartoonish understandings may be the very reason why people discount the idea altogether. But that's not what I'm talking about. Put all the joking aside, because I'm talking about the real thing, the reality of heaven and hell. It's an important topic, but one that's usually one-sided or ignored altogether. Is heaven real? Is hell real? Many people want to believe that heaven is real. It's comforting to those who have lost loved ones, and it takes the edge of the fear of death. Hell, on the other hand, isn't such a nice thought. Another one of the major reasons why we struggle with this is because we wonder why a God who loves all of us could ever think to send us to a place like hell for any reason at all. How could God do that? Why would he want to send anyone to a place of such grief and despair for eternity? The short answer is, he doesn't. Let's think of it this way. The definition of darkness is the absence of light. Darkness alone isn't an actual thing. It is merely the absence of light. Just as cold is the absence of heat. Now, if we apply that way of thinking to what we're talking about, then hell isn't a place that people are being sent, that's specially designed to punish them. It is simply what is left in the absence of God. If God is love, if God is peace, if God is joy and God is hope, then what's left when he isn't there? It would be hell, because hell is where there is no peace, no joy, a place devoid of all love, where there is no hope of rescue. The absence of light is darkness, and the absence of God is hell. That means God isn't vindictive. He didn't create hell to punish those who don't love him. It is simply a place where he is not. It would mean that when people, in their free will, decide they don't want anything to do with God, they choose for themselves. It would mean that instead of being sent to heaven or hell, we choose to go. Remember when I said at the beginning that good people go to heaven and that bad people go to hell? That's not exactly true. The only way you can get into heaven is by being so incredibly good that you're actually perfect. I like to think I'm a good person, but I'm not perfect. And I don't know about you, but I've lied, I've stolen, I've hurt people. None of us deserve heaven. None of us are worthy. None of us are perfect enough for a perfect place. But remember how I said God loves us? He loves us like a father loves his children. God loves us so much, even though we don't really deserve it. And he hates it when our imperfection separates us from him. He knew that the only way to save us from an eternity without him, from this hell, was to send his son Jesus to rescue us. Jesus gives us a choice. So yes, hell is real. Hell is real, but we don't have to go. We can choose heaven. We can choose Him. And if we choose Him, we don't have to worry about that absence of God. We don't have to worry about that hell. We have the choice. It's down to us to choose.